we all have. So another thing that we have to look at, okay, fine, this is like the love languages, which I've already touched off. Like I said, if you have a partner right now, you've never talked about love languages, you have to like really make it black and white, like talk it out, talk about it. Do not assume, because if you assume, it reminds me of, I was watching an interview, becoming Michelle Obama, and they were discussing. She was sharing her story, her relationship, how the time she was, she and Barack Obama, they went to therapy and all that, and she said something about how she learned what love means different things to different people. To her, love is presence, is being here. To Barack Obama, they knew that they knew that love can even happen at a distance. So it came from how they grew up. To say, growing up with perhaps a parent who was working far from home, you knew that they loved you because they gave you've learned a particular, you got accustomed to a particular love language. Maybe it was gifts, maybe it was calls, but they were not really present, like physically there. Whereas on the other side, Michelle grew up with parents here. So her frame of reference when it comes to love is presence, is the person being here. So when she yearned for that presence of Barack, like to be physically there all the time, and it creates some sort of cliches, that's when she had like an epiphany and therapy, when they unpacked that. That's what she shared when she was interviewed by Oprah. So for me, so this is why I'm saying that do not assume, because we all have different frame of references when it comes to love, what love is, what love looks like to each and every one of us. But just because to you love is touch, love is cooking, love is money, it doesn't mean to the next person in the same way. And that's why people gravitate away from each other, because you assume that your partner is looking for money or is just will be happy with money. You're just out there working, right? And you're never home, and then you just come back, you're like all the cars and everything, and one day you'll come back and your partner will say, sign the divorce papers, because you're never here. And you will say to them, but I thought you needed money, I was out there working for you. And then she's like, I never really actually wanted this money or these things. What I wanted was your time. Things like this. Try to avoid things like this by talking it out. Your love languages. What is it that make you tick? That's how we can start building healthy relationships and the relationships that really last. Be intentional about these things. So the last thing about the one who got away, I think I've already touched a bit. So the one who really got away is when you're in that stage, you feel like, okay, some people think, oh my God, I will never find somebody like them and all kind of stuff. And the truth is, yes, you will never find somebody like them. You're not supposed to be finding somebody like them, and you shouldn't be looking for somebody like them. You shouldn't be looking for your access in your current partners. Don't be doing that. That is toxic. What you should be looking for, or rather what you should be learning is, for example, if this person that you wish you wish you were still with right now is a person who perhaps who cared about, okay, who didn't raise voice. Okay, I don't like somebody who raised their voice on me, right? So that's the first thing. So if they say, for example, I encountered people who raised voice and all sorts of stuff, and I meet somebody who didn't raise a voice and all kind of stuff, and we just talk things out, somebody who appreciates it, and amicable communication and all that. And for me, if I feel like that is like the person I wish, you know what, I miss that person, this kind of stuff. You're not really missing the person. You're missing being hurt. You're missing somebody being gentle and considerate of how you feel. That's what you miss. That's what you're yearning for. You're not really missing the person. If you really unpack it, you will realize that it's never really about that. Not that you've stopped caring about the person. Not that you are still holding on to the past. You are just yearning for the thing that they were doing for you, that they have introduced to you. And now because they're gone, you feel like you'll never get it, because you need to just raise your awareness a bit and realize that that thing, you can still find it somewhere else also. But you don't have to find it somewhere else. And this is how we are changing things right now. Because I don't want to be sending you out to go out there and saying and demanding and saying, okay, fine. I don't want somebody raising their voice at me, and then you go out there. Okay, do not raise your voice at me. I don't want you to go and hunt people who don't raise voices. Firstly, it has to come back to you, because most of the time, the things that we are yearning for is the things that we lack. Because as somebody shows you, let me just say something like this. Say you appreciate it when, let me put it this way, you will see it this way. Oftentimes, how you treat the next person. I will talk about, let's say, gifts. Or let me just do it in my context. I'm a person who communicates. I'm a person who keeps in touch, right? And for me, I've learned that. For me, when I started doing this, when I was just in my formative years, I did it expecting that the person will also do that. It was not necessarily to say, I was projecting what I want, what I yearn for, what is important to me. And that is wrong, because it is an assumption to say, instead of putting it in words, to say, I appreciate being called, or I appreciate being somebody talking to me, or I appreciate good night, all kind of stuff. Instead of talking it out and you're just sending text, and perhaps the person doesn't even respond to you, because to them, like, okay, it's not their thing. And it is possible it's not a thing, but if you assume that they will get it, you're going to be disappointed, because you're going to be playing a role that you wish your partner should be playing for you in your relationship, for you, towards you. So instead of giving gifts, for example, and expecting gifts, whereas the love language of your partner is not even gifts. To them, it's like, maybe it's money. To them, maybe it's like time. You are just out of sync. Instead of just being out of sync, sit down and talk. Lay it out. This is what makes me happy. This is what I appreciate. This is what will make me excited. This is what will make me wake up and just choose you. These things that I believe will give me energy to show up for a relationship. You have to talk about it. You shouldn't assume. So going back to the one who got away, the person, the thing is not about the person. We all know, man, like it's obviously, like I said when I started out, that the fantasy I had of like meeting the first person and then that's it till the end of times. It is possible, but in this lifetime, this era is full of people that are really, really, really still have time to just test waters, go with the flow, things like that. And people are not you out there. Just because you have a list, just because you know what you want and everything, some people don't know what they want. Some people will string you along. So it means you may be bound to meet a couple of people who will just move before you get to a point where by now you feel like, okay, I'm in sync now. Not that I'm saying do that and all that. I'm just not recommending anything. I'm just giving perspective and talking about what is really happening. So the reality is, just because that person left doesn't mean it's the end of it. You will never feel like that again. You will feel like that again, either by somebody showing you the same love, right, or you showing yourself the same thing. So sometimes it's both ways. Yes, it's good that the person shows you love, give you gifts and everything. But my advice to you is, if right now you have the one who got away, take out a pen and paper and write down all the things that you miss about them and the things that you really liked about the time you were together. And look at all those things. Those things are the things you're really yearning for, not really the person. It's not, if you dig deep, if you're honest with yourself, it's not about the person. It's about the specific actions, because love is a verb, is a doing word. It's particular actions, it's the efforts they've made that make you happy, that make you right. Like, I wish this person could just come back, because they got you when it comes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They checked up on you. They gave you gifts. They helped you out around the house. They touched you. They were able to sit down and listen to you. Things like that. Write them down. It means those are the things that are important to you. So it means in your relationships, those are the things that you should consider. It's the things that you have to make clear with your partner, prospective partner. Just say, these are the things that are very important to me. This is where we start talking about the deal breakers, because those are the things that will make you to build that which is a healthy environment for your relationship. Because it means if those things are not there, you won't really be happy, right? So yeah, that's it. So from there, I feel like you should just let the person go. And if they come back, congratulations, that's nice. But you need to, if you feel like they went away, write those lists, and then from there, take that, appreciate the fact that that's a moment of awakening. That's awareness there, because you have now jotted down what you like, what is important to you, what you appreciate. Then that's something that you take. Sometimes it even gives you that moment to say, you know what, let me work on myself before I get to I move to other people, most kind of stuff. And this is where you can just take time to reflect, and maybe you can, depending on how far you go when you introspect. If it is somebody listening to you, where is it coming from? Somebody like me, like introspect like that. Why is this feeling coming from? And all I interrogate myself a lot. But here right now, the first thing that you should do, just write those things down. Those are just the things that you want. Those are the things that are important to you in your relationship. From the next relationship, you have to do that. And you realize that you're growing, you'll be growing. And it may be one thing. And then you learn about yourself. Like I said, relationships are about growth. Relationships are about growth. An ideal relationship is a relationship where you can be fully yourself, you can be happy, and it can be able, it's safe enough for you to just fall apart and still come back. So it has to be like that. So those are just the clues of what is important to you and what a healthy relationship look like for you. So those are just the thing. Good. Yeah, that's it. If those people, that particular person used to buy you gifts, start buying yourself gifts. If they used to take you out, take yourself out. Do those things, and you realize that it was never really about them necessarily. Not to say that you didn't like them anymore or you didn't care about them anymore, but at the core, it was about what they did, how they made you feel. So you can make yourself feel the same way. You can sustain that feeling yourself, because I don't want you, now depending on other people to make you feel good. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what? Before you boom, 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 try to see if you can't give yourself those same feels, how they've been treating you. How about you start treating yourself the way they've been treating you, because you like it that way. And in that way, you become a person with some healthy boundaries, with some healthy habits in a relationship. It's like a co-committed relationship. It's a good relationship, and doesn't become a codependent relationship. Because a codependent relationship, the danger of it is that you may end up, if right now, for example, the one who got away. Because oftentimes people end up going back to those people that they feel, they end up pursuing those people that got away, because they're yearning for those gifts. They're yearning for how they made them feel, the good feels and everything. And what if it's a situation where now this person, there was no balance. So this person, they were buying you gifts and everything. You loved it. But on the other side, perhaps they were baiting you up. So you're going to just stick around for that? That is not healthy. Hence I'm saying, don't be pursuing them. First thing that should be in your mind, just say it's not really about them. Let me interrogate, let me investigate what is it about them that really made me happy. And just investigate that first and see if it's not something that you can do for yourself. And then you'll see with time you will heal. And really, if really you're supposed to be with that person, y'all will find your way back to each other. So this is where I stop. And because I've really spoken for quite a long time, Yeah, I didn't know that I actually find the subject of love so fascinating and everything. So yeah, stay tuned. It's Unlearning and Learning series, and I hope it gave you some perspective and some tools and some insights, and it was just helpful to you. And you can just share in the comment section, like, what is your take on the love, on the one who got away? Do you have a story about the one who got away? Have you ever actually get back together with somebody who went away, who got away? Or do you have somebody who got away whom you wish, like, you could get back together with, those kind of stuff? What's your story? Share. I'm just here. In here, it's Kgadi the Possibilitarian. It's self-work. It's just about enlightening each other. So until next time, love and light.